In preparation for their impending big battle at the end of 2025, Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez have started arguing. Following their match, Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez had a brief press conference where some media representatives on the ground sat them down to talk about the possibility of their fight. The two met in Saudi Arabia to discuss the specifics of the fight with Turki Al-Sheikh, who has been interested in making the fight for months.
It won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently, and it'd be a well-fought fight for both of us, I believe.
Any doubt in your mind that you beat him?
Of course I beat him. It ain't no doubt in my mind that I won't beat any.
First, both Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez stated that the bout will take place later in 2025, much to the pleasure of many media. Both of them began peacefully and calmly, but when Canelo Alvarez was asked who he thought would win the fight, the serious environment swiftly descended into anarchy.
You on the internet with Turki Al-Sheikh calling you out. What's your response to Terence Crawford's call out tonight?
No comment.
Naturally, nobody anticipates that he will bring up Terence Crawford. Well, perhaps what enraged Crawford was the way he answered. "It's easy money for me to finish his career," he stated, referring to his facile victory against Crawford. When Canelo made a significant commitment to humble, Crawford became insulted and referred to him as a proud dog. "Proud dog, I'll bring you to your knees," Canelo added. "You're not prepared for what lies ahead of you. It's unlike anything you've ever experienced. Whatever unauthorized press conference was concealed had better finish, as things were more blunt and rude." But before they started talking, Canelo Alvarez and Crawford shared how happy they were about the fight and offered their advice on how to make it work. Canelo claimed that Crawford wasn't even certain about the money, but he was always in and prepared for a fight as long as it was appropriate.
The type of fight Terence Crawford is different. 168, but like I say.
When Canelo made a significant commitment to humble, Crawford became insulted and referred to him as a proud dog. "Proud dog, I'll bring you to your knees," Canelo added. "You're not prepared for what lies ahead of you. It's unlike anything you've ever experienced. Whatever unauthorized press conference was concealed had better finish, as things were more blunt and rude." But before they started talking, Canelo Alvarez and Crawford shared how happy they were about the fight and offered their advice on how to make it work. Canelo claimed that Crawford wasn't even certain about the money, but he was always in and prepared for a fight as long as it was appropriate. Canelo's willingness to take the risk is the issue. Since he doesn't seem to have any motivation to do so, I don't think he will do so at this time. The two-time 168 billion titleist doesn't seem likely to win the fight if he can't injure Benavidez in the first 3 or 4 rounds. Over the past 2 years, Benavidez has been hammering the table in an attempt to get a chance at Alvarez. Crawford, who was once regarded as the world's top welterweight, is willing to move up 2 weight classes in order to face the Mexican sensation. While many are giving Crawford a genuine chance to win, Alvarez insists that a victory would not significantly advance his legacy.
Loads of things going around at the moment, including a big clash with Canelo Alvarez. Can you tell us what's going on in that situation, and can that happen next?
We shall see.
Jones expressed that if anyone can succeed in this challenge, it's Crawford. He drew on his own experience, recalling how he took on John Ruiz in 2003 for the heavyweight title, despite giving up 33 pounds. Jones emphasized that he wasn't concerned with the weight difference. He was determined to prove that he was the best pound-for-pound fighter and wanted to make history by achieving something never done before. He believes Crawford feels the same way now, driven to solidify his legacy and create a historic moment in boxing. Jones highlighted the excitement of a potential fight between the pound-for-pound champions of different eras, yesterday's best versus today's. Such a match would be a monumental event, one that boxing fans would eagerly watch. If Crawford can add the necessary muscle and weight, Jones is confident that no one can doubt him. He underscored that Crawford's mentality isn't about just collecting a paycheck, he's in it to win, driven by his competitive spirit and legacy ambitions. Crawford's ability to both box and brawl, like Floyd Mayweather, was another point Jones made. He noted that Crawford hits effectively and avoids getting hit, a strategy that could give him the edge. If Crawford can handle the added weight and take the punches at that level, Jones believes he has a strong chance to win. Crawford's determination, skill set, and mentality make him a formidable opponent in any challenge he faces.
Big for Crawford, I'm not sure about that because Crawford does have punching power and shock, but I think Canelo's a little big. He showed tonight that he's pretty big, so I probably would rather see.
Roy Jones Jr., a former four-division champion who experienced weight fluctuations in his career, believes Canelo Alvarez should stick to super middleweight. He expressed confusion over Alvarez's decision to move up to 175 pounds to face Dmitry Bivol, noting that Canelo had already defeated Sergey Kovalev, who was at the end of his career, while Bivol was in his prime. Jones emphasized that they are two different animals, with Canelo having faced Kovalev at the right time. He advised Alvarez to return to 168 pounds, where he has dominated, instead of risking another fight at a higher weight, as lightning isn't likely to strike twice. Meanwhile, former two-weight world champion Andre Ward has shared his thoughts on the possibility of a super fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford calling out Canelo.
You know, I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just too much weight. You know, and
Since Canelo's career-defining fight against welterweight opponent Errol Spence Jr. last year, Bud has been pursuing him. The Mexican recently said that he would be willing to defend his super middleweight championships against the naturally smaller guy if the money was there, despite his initial dismissal of the bout. Talking on the podcast All the Smoke, the two boxing matchups Ward most desires to see are Canelo vs. Terence Crawford or David Benavidez. Ward retired with a perfect record of 32 victories from 32 encounters. You may try to pick on the smaller guy, or you can approach someone in your weight class. Terence Crawford.
Charlo fight Crawford first, and then see how that goes. If he does good against Charlo with the weight, then let's see him come up and fight Canelo. Yes, but not right now.
Andre Ward recently shared his thoughts on the potential clash between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, emphasizing his belief in Crawford's extraordinary abilities. Ward, who has faced similar challenges in his own career, stated that despite Canelo's success, he would bet on Crawford in this matchup, noting that Crawford is simply on another level. Ward highlighted that Crawford's skill, mentality, and heart set him apart. He explained that Crawford possesses a unique combination of traits that make him a fighter who can be relied on, adding that he's someone you could bet your house on. Ward also made it clear that while many fighters may talk a big game, it's not until they face a true test that their true mettle is revealed. He believes Crawford's mindset and fighting spirit make him a standout in the current landscape, and he's not someone you can count out against anyone.
I want to see Crawford come up some weight classes and show he can be dominant at 54. You understand?
That fight will go Crawford and
Crawford won a pound.
Shakur Stevenson, who often refers to Terence Crawford as his big brother, believes Crawford would beat Canelo Alvarez, even with a 14-pound weight disadvantage. Unlike Jermell Charlo, Canelo has expressed no interest in fighting Crawford, citing size differences. However, Stevenson sees this as no obstacle, emphasizing that skills, not size, determine outcomes in boxing. He believes Crawford's southpaw stance, excellent movement, and strong fundamentals would pose significant challenges for Canelo. The former 28-time world champion argues that Crawford
I can bet the house on is Bud, because me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like soon as I see this dude,
Crawford's technical abilities rather than his weight are what would give him the edge in a potential matchup. Stevenson's confidence in Crawford reflects his admiration for his big brother's boxing IQ and ability to excel in any situation.
Wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. Like, it's just that, like, you gotta really hurt that.
Stevenson stated that Terence Crawford is currently in charge of things when discussing Crawford's future plans with IFL TV. Although Charo is already scheduled to face Canelo, I would really like to see him take on Charo next. Given that Crawford is a southpaw with strong mobility and boxing technique, I firmly think he may defeat Canelo. It would be difficult for Canelo to walk Crawford down and load up with his potent hooks. Although it is what it is, I wish Charrot and Canelo weren't engaged in combat. Bud could defeat Canelo in my opinion. Simply because I am aware that talents, not size, are what win battles. I would like to witness it.
We so much alike in our mentality. Like soon as I see this dude, he come in the room or I come in the room, we start arguing about basketball.
One of the greatest boxing bouts that may happen right now is Saul Canelo Alvarez vs. Terence Crawford, and it looks more likely than ever given Saudi Arabia's interest in the sport. In order to face Canelo, the super middleweight champion, Crawford, the current unified welterweight champion, would surely need to advance many classes. Following Canelo's victory against Edgar Banga on September 14th, Bud and Turkey Alik recently challenged Canelo to a super bout. Come on, Canelo. We're ready, said Alal Sheikh. You heard it directly from him. Crawford agreed with Canelo that the biggest fight in boxing is Crawford. Mike Tyson agrees that the startling weight difference has been a source of conflict in the boxing community.
Like I said, I've been saying this. I don't think size win fights. I think skills do. So yeah, I think like being a southpaw with good movement and sharp boxing, it'd be hard for Canelo with that high guard to walk him down and load up on them big hooks. I think Bud would be.
I dislike that altercation. On September 20th, Tyson said on the Calm and Talk to Me podcast that Crawford was waiting too long. He had a tough battle with Israel Madou, his previous opponent, because to his size and awkwardness. He ought not to have engaged in combat with that man. Tyson's statement is valid. Despite being 58 new taller than Canelo, Madrimov was unbeaten before their bout, and Crawford had one of his hardest battles to date against him.
Who knows? That smile's telling me something else, bro. I think it might be on the line, no?
I'm just saying, man, we can't say it's not gonna happen. We can't say